What's up, YouTube? I'm Eric, and I've got a few things on my mind. There's a lot going on in the world right now. Between Caitlyn Jenner being front page news, the pool party in McKinney, Texas, trying to figure out how law enforcement should interact with black people and what, if anything, we should feel about it. We're being told what we should feel about it. How should we respond to it? And probably most recently, Rachel Dolezal. Two things that I want to focus on are the Caitlyn Jenner and the Rachel Dolezal. It's interesting to me that Caitlyn Jenner becoming who she is now, transforming from Bruce, that's such significant news. And you gotta excuse me, my dog's over here. Just want to be close. Got Quiz and Deacon. I'll introduce you someday. But Bruce Jenner's transformation into Caitlyn has somehow become priority news. I understand that he was part of a celebrity household and somewhat media royalty, if you will. But it isn't that important. There are people making those transitions all the time. There are people living that life all the time. So I don't know what makes him more brave than any of these other people who aren't fortunate enough to be millionaires and in the public eye and living celebrity lifestyles. You would think that he's already made his mark in the world. He's already left a lasting legacy as an Olympian champion. He's already made money from the TV show. I believe he was also a race car driver, had a number of different things going on in his life, and was fairly successful at most of them. To make that transition has to do with facing what other people are going to think about you and how they're going to react to the decision you've made. It seems to me that it would be more brave for someone who has none of that success, someone who's struggled through not just their childhood, their young adulthood, and then get to a point where they just make that change and they've had to struggle and scrape to save money to have it done. It seems to me that that would be considered more brave and more worth celebrating if that's what you're going to do. Why choose someone who's wealthy, privileged, to be the poster child of bravery in that transgender community? I don't understand that. I'm not going to criticize Jenner for the decision he made. I'm simply wondering why it's so newsworthy. That being said, I understand the frustration behind Rachel Dolezal. I'm going to say Dolezal, and I'm going to go with that. I understand the frustration behind her deception, because essentially that's what it was. She was deceitful in how she presented herself to the world and benefited from that deceit in teaching Black studies. I don't have a problem with the work she's done in the community. I don't have a problem with, let me clarify, I don't even have a problem with the fact that she was a professor of Black studies. I don't have a problem with her going to Harvard. I don't have a problem with her being president of a chapter of the NAACP. And to be quite honest, the issue doesn't affect me in one way or another. Not at all. I think the reason it's worth talking about is because it bears comparison. I feel that the two situations are similar enough. If you take away the idea that Rachel was deceptive and applied to jobs and positions as an African American woman, if you take away that she has spoken from situations, personal experiences, which never happened, claimed to have a Black father, did not, spoke on how to be Black or how to live, what it is living as a Black woman, that's problematic. I feel like that is worthy of being addressed. Okay? But if you take away the deception and simply look at it as someone who has made a quote-unquote transition on their own, and you compare that with the Caitlyn Jenner situation, it brings an interesting question to mind. What would be the response, the reception of Caitlyn Jenner had Bruce decided, you know, I've always felt like I was not just a woman, a Black woman. And on the cover of Vanity Fair, he also appeared to be melanated. So we add the long hair, we add the breast, we shave the Adam's apple, and we add dark skin. Would he be received? Would he be as celebrated? Because now we've added an extra component here. And again, we are removing, sorry for the stutter there, we are removing the deceit associated with the president of NAACP chapter, Spokane. It makes me wonder, is it the Black community that's just not as welcoming? Is it the women's community that is so welcoming of Caitlyn Jenner? I think it's an interesting question to raise. What do you think? If Caitlyn Jenner had transitioned not only from a male to a female, but from a white male to a Black woman, would he be as celebrated as he is being now? Let me know. I'm curious where this discussion goes. All right. This is Eric Thompson. Let me know what you think. Like the video if you enjoyed it. If you'd like me to talk about something else, send me a little message. Comment. All that good stuff. All right. Have a good one. I'm going to go play with the dogs.